Hello everyone and welcome back to part 4 of the Guts and Glory save with our starting club Welling United. Today we've got for you games from the National League South against Farnborough, who are top of the league, so it'll be an interesting test of where we are as a club. And of course our FA Cup 4th qualifying round tie away to Barnet. And with that comes a tiny chance of getting into the FA Cup proper and maybe even a money spinning tie against one of the bigger clubs in League One, someone who hopefully has lots of fans who are going to spend lots of money, and we can take half of that home. It's a small chance, but I'm holding out hope. We want that money to maybe spend on some players and get us into contention for promotion. Probably not this season, but next season at the very least. Let's have a look and see where we left off last time. So as you can see, we've played 4 games. That's 5 games, in fact, since you were last with us. The last game, of course, being the 4-3 win against St Albans, which definitely looked like we were going to lose it partway through the game and had me tearing my hair out of the fact that we didn't look like we were going to beat a relegation candidate. But we did finally win that one. Then we went away to Worthing, who are, I think they're still above us in the league, so a 1-1 draw away from home isn't too bad. But then somehow we got absolutely thumped by Bath City at home. And it was really making me doubt whether we'd even be a mid-table team at this stage. We did recover with 3 wins on the bounce, 2 of those, however, being in the qualifying rounds of the FA Cup against teams that were, I think, 1 or 2 divisions below us. But in there was a massive away win against Eastbourne Borough, who I think were 3rd up until we beat them. They're sort of still sitting in the playoff places, so to go away and win a game like that is pretty good in my book. And then a very confidence-boosting 4-1 win against Concord Rangers in the 3rd round of the qualifying cup. Third qualifying round of the FA Cup. My God, shouldn't it be this hard to speak? The Ramsgate one was interesting, however. We went 4-0 up at half-time. We were 3-0 up at half-time, went 4-0 up, and then conceded 3 late goals to make the last few minutes quite nervy. We did scrape through, but all of that was forgotten as soon as we beat Eastbourne. So tonight we have got Farnborough at home. I'd like to think we can get at least a point from that, and then it's away to Barnet, who are in the National League and in 13th. So mid-table National League against mid-table National League South. There really should only be one winner, with the team in the higher league being the home side. But do you know what? We're going to give it a go. We are going to give it a go. Since you were last here as well, we have made one more signing. Scott Holding has joined the club on loan from Welling United. Decent option for centre-back, and he's had a decent-ish start so far, with, I think, 1 or 2 games. No, he's not. He's not played yet. He hasn't had a decent-ish start. He hasn't had any start yet. This will be his first match in Welling colours. So let's get on and introduce the side, shall we? So starting this match at home to Farnborough, we have Winterbottom in goal, who has had much better form recently. Although against Ramsgate he was letting just about anything that came his way in. Did redeem himself with his first clean sheet of the season against Eastbourne Borough. And did pretty well against Concord as well, just conceding 1 late goal. We have Brian Waugh, Scott Holding and Dickinson across the back 3 there. Green and Bramble are our wing backs as per. Obiero is holding in defensive midfield. And then we have White, Flanagan completing the midfield, and Abrahams and Lacantores up front. Lacantores has done fairly well, and at the moment, in my head, has displaced Roscoe as our starting poacher. We'll see how that goes, because he is supposedly on paper not the stronger of the 2 options, but I do like the fact he's big, he can jump, he can head the ball, so these crosses that should be coming in from the 2 wing backs should be landing right on his head. So let's get into the game and see how we get on. I'd like to think we can actually get something out of this. What squad number should we give him? 29. There we go. That's the next available one. And well, let's see if we can make something of this season. I know we're only 10 matches in. I am um, unnecessarily panicking about what might be a bit of a write-off season because we're only a quarter of the way in. We're only 6-7 points off top, so it shouldn't be over yet. I'm not used to being this far down the league at this stage of the season. Let's get our league table back up and we can see how things change as the match goes on. We're actually 9 points behind Farnborough, so we're a bit further behind than I just said. But do you know what? It doesn't matter. It's only a few games. That's 3 wins and we're on top. So let's not panic about it yet. However, not much has happened in this match so far until I say those words and then Farnborough come on the attack. And it's a good header away from Holding there, already proving to be worth the loan signing, I would say. And that's a speculative shot that flies over the bar. No worry for our boys there. Quite like the fact there are flats in the corner of the stadium. I mean, it's not as if we have a packed out ground that people will go and want to rent those flats for match day. But it's an option at some point in the future when we become a huge side. Although, good chance I won't be around to see it because the aim of this save is not to take Welling United to the Champions League. It's to take me to the Champions League. I want to be a big manager at a big club one day. This is just a stepping stone. We'll not take the first job that comes along. We're going to try and make it kind of semi-realistic. And if at some point a move comes in that would make sense for me realistically in real life, and I'm not going to go moving halfway across the country for an extra £10 a week, but if I've got a chance to double, triple, quadruple my salary, then maybe I might start to think about it. And as I'm waffling on about what the point of the save is, we've gone ahead against the top team in the league. Lewis White there with a fairly simple finish after some good work on the left wing by Green, and that's lovely stuff. One of the things I do like about the way we play is that despite the fact we've got 5 defenders and a defensive midfielder, we just had 4 men in the box. That's pleasing to me. I would like to play tippy-tappy football, but we don't have the players to do that. We're not at the club to do that. We're not at the level to be able to do that. So we have to go with bodies in the box and crosses coming in, and it's not your traditional, ball in the air, big man heads it in kind of cross, but it's turned into a goal, and that's exactly what this setup is meant to do. We have, however, conceded straight after kick-off. Maybe we're not as good as I'd like to think. My emotions go up and down playing Football Manager so much. It's absolutely ridiculous. If we're winning, we're the greatest team ever. If we're not winning, then it all feels like a failure. I wonder what the point is. And just to hammer that point home, we've got Farnborough on the attack. And, well, it wasn't really close to an own goal. I think that was probably going wide, but it doesn't help when your defenders are putting the ball going towards your own goal as opposed to away. Might have to work on that one on the training grounds. Make sure the defenders know, obviously, to score in the other goal, not our own one. 60 minutes gone and it's 1-1. A point from this match would be absolutely fine. And, White really close there to adding a second. But a point should be fine from this game. However, I'm very ambitious. I want us to do better than throw the ball to the opposition from... there was no pressure on that thrower at all. That should have been easy. Anyway, we have managed to lose the ball, and it's picked up pretty easily by Winterbottom there. That's not a problem. But yeah, we want to be ambitious. We want to get up into the National League as soon as possible, even if it means trying to do it through the playoffs. And Abrahams with a pretty tame shot on goal there. And I'd quite like to do it this season, at least get ourselves into the playoff conversation. Who wants a mid-table season? A mid-table season is boring. And, oh my goodness. It looked like Winterbottom just kind of dummied himself there. The ball bounced off the bar. He was still flapping around on the ground, having completely missed the initial shot. And somehow Falevi, the man taking the shot, has reacted quicker than the 6 defenders we had between him and the ball. And it's 2-1 to Farnborough. Well, I think we need to react with some changes. I mean, as I've said in previous streams, we don't really have a lot on offer to us. Torres has not really done well, so we are going to change him. Obiero's not doing brilliantly either, so we are going to bring on Lima, put him at right wing back, and Bramble can play the ball winning midfielder role for us instead. I mean, this is it. We haven't got players who we can throw on really to change the game. I can only hope that Ross Grove starts to show some form that his supposed ability would suggest he's got in him somewhere. We're not seeing it. We're not seeing it at all. But it's now another corner for Farnborough, and if we go 3-1 down, I think that is game over for us. It is cleared, but it's a Farnborough shirt first to the ball. Crosses back in, and thankfully that is, was that Green heading that behind? Now left wing back, somehow the man in the centre challenging the striker, and it's another corner for Farnborough. And, well, I mean, we've just given a free header there from a corner. That's the ball just looped up. It shouldn't be that easy for them. It really, really shouldn't. So what can we do here? Who do we have on the bench? I mean, we could go to the 4-4-2 diamond that we have used once before, and I think we got some success out of it. So I think we do that. We're going to take off Dickinson, I think. Holding seems to have had a good game so far. We're going to take off Dickinson, and we're going to bring on Odesanya in that role there. Yeah, he can play as an attacking midfielder. Actually, let's get him as a shadow striker. Let's get men in the box, shall we? And let's see if we can get ourselves back into this with... well, we've got a long throw there from Green. In for Holding, who was very close to really writing himself into my good books. Flanagan now forward, aiming for Holding. I mean, Holding seems to have been part of a lot of this game. And Lima, who is our substitute. I mean, I said I didn't have players on the bench to affect the game. Turns out completely wrong. Bring on a right back. Bring on Crossley Lima when you need a goal. That apparently is the move I should be making. And we've got it back to 2-0. I'm not entirely sure we deserve it. That felt very against the run of play. But I'll take it. And I mean, I'm going to give them some encouragement because I want to see if we can go on and get a winner. Undeserved as it might be, a winner, it would be fantastic here. 7 minutes of injury time for us to go and make that difference, to go and get that goal that no one in their right mind would suggest we should get. And that's it. Game over 2-2. Is it a fair result? I don't think Farnborough would think so. But I'm quite happy with it. Very happy with it, in fact. That result leaves us still 13th in the table, and it's actually knocked Farnborough off the top spot, which... well, I make no apologies. That's what we're here to do. We want to ruin everybody else's fun if we can't have our own fun. Right, well, we are going to fast forward to the Barnet game, so we'll see you on the other side. Well, just quickly before we get into the Barnet game, quite amusing to see that our main rivals, Dartford, they've already sacked their manager. They are down in the relegation zone. And considering I think they were meant to be a team fighting for promotion, that's a terrible performance. They haven't, the only team in the league not to have won a game. They have drawn 6, but they've still lost 5, which is far more than us. And it's quite nice to see your rivals in the dirt like that, isn't it? Anyway, see you for Barnet. And here we are, ready for the match against Barnet. 2 changes forced upon us tonight. TJ Bramble on international duty. That's right, we have an international in the Welling squad. He's on duty with Antigua and Barbuda. And unfortunately, Zek Obiero is suspended for this match. I'm not sure if he picked up suspensions with us, picked up yellow cards with us, or previous club maybe? I mean, where did we get him from? Leyton Orient. don't know if he might have played one with them, but either way, we were without him for today's match. So we brought in Crossley Lima at the right wing back position, and it really just shows how much depth we don't have, with the fact that Lima's having to come in there, and Cameron Andrews in defensive midfield position, really struggling to speak today. So that leaves us with Winterbottom in goal, Dickinson holding Brian Waugh at the back, Green and Lima on the wings, Andrews as a defensive midfield, and White and Flanagan finishing off the midfield. Then Abrahams and Torres up front again. This is almost a Torres' last chance. He has had a good start to his career with us, but after the last match where he was completely anonymous, we might be going back to Roscoe to give him another chance. Let's jump into it. Yes, lacking match sharpness because we only have a first 11 here. We don't have much beyond that. So the chances for rotation are pretty minimal. There's no one in the squad that I'd bring in to replace most of these players. If they play badly, I mean, you can't really make many changes. So kind of just hoping that the players play themselves into form. But here we go. It is. I mean, we're still going attacking. You know, we're giving it a go. That's all we can do. We can sit back and defend, and yeah, right, we might scrape a draw or nick a win, but I'd rather go out in style. With that, Abrahams has the first shot of the game, and it's a good stop in the end. But that's some incisive counter-attacking football, and I hope we can look forward to more of the same. Holding now with the header and his first goal of the season, his first goal for Welling United in just his second match for us. He was a defensive rock against Farnborough and now has scored at the other end, got himself on the score sheet, and we're 1-0 up away to Barnet. We're looking at the potential now for a first round tie in the FA Cup. I mean, we are still sitting with 70 minutes to go, so I'm probably counting my chickens just a little bit too early. I mean, if you can't get excited about going up against a team above you in the footballing pyramid, they are not just above us in the league, but are a whole league above us, and away from home, then what can you get excited about? Having said that, Barnet looked like they were about to strike back, but Winterbottom, showing the kind of form that he showed in a few games before this video, making a fine stop there and distributing quite well, in fact. White trying to find Abrahams, but Abrahams losing out to the Barnet defender, and now they are knocking the ball forward down the wings. Do we have a man marking at the back? And, well, their right winger came off the wing. Striker heads it down to him. No one's picked up the run, despite having three damned centre-backs. All of them marking, just air. They're marking air. Our left wing-back didn't come in on time either. And when it's 1-1, that's disappointing. Well, let's see. Let's play for set pieces. That's not a bad idea. We're not going to beat them playing football, are we? So let's just play a bit of hoof it and get some corners and things like that, shall we? Okay, half-time, 1-1. I think at this stage we do have replays, don't we? So I don't think we're looking at extra time or penalties at this stage, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. We still have a match to not lose if we're hoping to get that far. Barnet are now very good at getting the ball off of our centre-backs. Our centre-backs don't seem to be physical enough, and that just proves it. There were 2-3 men around the striker there, and he still managed to get a header towards goal. That might be something we need to look to upgrade. Get a bit of physicality at the back. Big, strong men, that's what you need down at this level. And maybe these three are not quite the people we need. If we can just find like a 6'5" monster, someone who can head in all of our goals and stop them heading in their goals, then we're in a great position. Here we are with building from the back. I mean, this is quite nice football. This is footballing football. And Abrahams with a chance there, but I think he's kicked it at the back of the Barnet defender there. That was Oh, it was close, wasn't it? It was good football that got us there. Flanagan picking a bit of space in the channel and getting good ball across to Abrahams, but he just could not apply the finish. Not quite the National League South kind of football. Right? I was going to make a change there, actually, but a corner's come in, and it's never a good idea to make a change at a corner. Right, let's make some changes. Abraham's there for the 6.2, but we're going to leave him on. He's quite key to the way we play. Maybe changing up his partner will elicit the response that we need. Crossley, Lima not having the best of games, but we don't have an option. He still has to play there. So we're going to change out Andrews instead. But I don't have anyone to replace him. Can Vaughan play there? Not really. Okay. Can anyone play there? Not really. Right, Andrews, you just need to get better. Wow. We are short of options. Okay, we are going to bring on Lucky Bird. What are you? You're 6'4". You're jumping. Why have we not been playing you more? I think we replaced you with Holding, didn't we? Okay, well, you're definitely not a ball-playing midfielder. You're a big head-the-ball midfielder. And I think we'll make just those two changes for now and save one for inevitable tiredness or injury or whatever. And let's see if we can aim a few balls at Bird's head from corners or free kicks, because I think that's probably our main threat at the moment. 10 minutes left to go, and we are still holding Barnet, which, I mean, all given, all in all, wouldn't be a bad result. But it's just a replay against a team that's not really going to make us any money. So one last change to make. Let's get White off for Odesanya. See if he can do something good. Okay, into injury time, and we're going to have a replay. We're going to take that as a successful match. A 1-1 draw away to a team in the league above you. It's nothing to be sniffed at. We are hardly big powers within the National League South, so we've got to take the positives from that match. Who knows what might happen now that we're going to get them back to our place? Well, I think we've got to come back for the replay after that, haven't we? We need to see how we get on against Barnet at our place at Parkview Road, and I mean, what awaits is potentially an FA Cup first round tie. So we'll do Barnet, and I think we'll do Maidstone because they're relatively close to Welling. So let's do those two matches next time. Then after that, depending on how things go with the FA Cup, we'll either come back for the FA Cup or we're gonna come back for this juicy double header against local rivals Dartford, home and away on Boxing Day and New Year's Day. I mean, what a cracking week that's going to be for Welling fans. Hopefully, and we'll see where we go from there. So. Come back for Barnet and Maidstone next time. Thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed that, please do subscribe. Please do leave a like. It all helps. And I'll see you next time. Thanks very much for watching. Good night.